Hey Finn, this is Keaton Everett from ABC going over your President's Day pitching video. We're going to kind of talk about what I'm seeing, some changes we can make, some good things, and just kind of talk about pitching in general, what we need to be doing to get ourselves consistent, get ourselves powerful, to generate as much torque as we can, and most importantly, keep ourselves healthy. So first off, we'll just start over the rubber, where we're breaking our hands, how we're starting everything, and go from there. So starting from the wind-up, step off to the side, which is fine. The biggest thing out of the wind-up is we want to limit body movement. We don't want to see the body rotating far, one way or the other. All right, we just need to kind of just be enough to get our body in motion to get everything timed up. All right, so you're doing a fine job of doing limiting your motion. I think there's a little bit of movement with that back leg or that back foot. If you could just kind of just go ahead and make it a little bit quicker down to that dirt instead of back and then forward. That's just a lot of movement. You're kind of going in front of the rubber quite a bit and then back against it. So there's just a little bit of unnecessary movement there for you. But overall, pretty solid. All right. So as you're coming up to leg lift, all right, biggest thing here is already your spine's out over that left hip. All right, that's going to lead to you rushing down the mound. That's going to lead to you leaking off the front side. We want to see that spine neutral over that back hip. All right. Another thing that causes this is, looking at your eyes. Where are you looking? You're looking down at the ground. That head's tilted down. All right. We want to see those eyes locked in on that target. Once that leg starts up, we want eyes on the target. So right here, you should be looking locked in on that target. All right. So that's one of the biggest things. Another thing too with your hands, you do have a long arm path, so go ahead and move those hands down here to limit that movement. It's a lot harder to time a lot of movement in the hands. So the lower, the more consistent you can break your hands at the same height, the better off you're going to be. All right, you're breaking your hands right here as that body's already forward. We'd like to see those hands break more so when that leg's starting to go down. So starting to go down, then we want to see those hands breaking from about right here, and that's going to get your arm going in a little bit better path to deliver the ball. All right, another thing we're seeing is you're sluggish in your hips. All right, if you focus in on here, as you're dropping that leg down, you're just seeing movement back. All right, with this spine. Again, we want to see spine keeping that perpendicular angle to flat ground, not to the mound, to the flat ground. So all you're doing is you're just dropping that body back. All right, you can see that spine angle gets more extreme, and then you're here, whereas we'd like to just still you see either straight up or even just a little bit back, but not as extreme as you are. What will help with that, coming up set in the good spine position, is to take your hips and drive them down the mound. All right, we want to see those hips start forward before that leg starts going down. All right, if I just mark a little reference right here where your hips are, you can see that leg start to go down. Those hips aren't really moving a whole lot. We want to see you up in this position, and then those hips start going forward. All right, that'll just get you from going so far extreme back over that back leg. All right, another thing too with your front arm is you notice that your elbow's locked in at 90 degrees on this front side, and it just kind of sits there 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and then you rotate down. You keep your glove out over that front foot really well, but it's just an awkward position and a kind of unbalanced, unathletic to keep it just locked in there at that point the whole time. All right, what we like to see is to kind of match up that back arm, to let this glove travel out with that foot, to get it out in this position to kind of work more in tandem with that leg, and then it locks in place out here, and that elbow rotates down. All right, you don't let that elbow rotate down until too late. So you want to see your elbow out in this position, and then as you rotate down, that glove stays locked out in front, and then that elbow starts to rotate down here, then it rotates down here, and that glove just stays in. All right, so you want to feel that elbow rotate down while keeping that glove out instead of just keeping it at 90 degrees. All right, a foot strike. Let's go get foot strike. It looks like foot strike right there. All right, looks like you're a little bit open. Tough to tell from the side. But again, at this foot strike, this arm's back, and you can see that your hands are kind of on the side of the ball facing behind you. You know, we want to see those fingertips on top of the baseball right here. All right, we want to be able to get on top of that ball and drive that ball from this position down instead of up and then down. So you can see where your elbow is here, and then watch what it does and where it finishes. So it's coming up and through the zone. All right, we want to use that mound. We want to start up and drive it through the zone and down with the mound. All right, so that'll help just getting that arm up a little bit quicker. And again, just because you're breaking your hands like that, arm can't really get up on top of the ball. It just kind of has to roll through it. So that'll help too. So looking too at your foot strike, you know, our hip-shoulder separation, you aren't really getting a whole lot of torque in that lower body. All right, the hips is where we're generating our power, where we're getting all our velocity. All right, and we want those hips to come forward. We want to see those hips in this position and that upper body back in the position we kind of talked about before. So we want to see you right here. All right, that hip's going forward, 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 and then that upper body and those shoulders are getting through the zone. All right, that's where you get the power. But that's another thing too that comes with strength, comes with age, comes with coordination, and you know, that'll get a little easier with age. But all in all, you know, hopefully I give you a couple good things you can work on, just to use more of those hips. Drive those hips down the mound, get them going first, and break your hands too before you start going to get up on top of that ball, and then to drive the ball down the hill to get angle, to get movement, to get bite on those breaking pitches, and just to use more of your body and your legs to get everything working right. Also, eyes on that catcher, eyes on that glove the whole time to lock in. That was a big thing for me when I was young. I didn't look at the catcher. And then as I got older, I realized that the importance of visualizations and locking in on that and just dialing in on that catcher's mitt so you can hit it every time. So anyways, good luck this year. Hope you have a great year. Thanks for making it out to camp. Hope you had a great time, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.